Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. I seem hope you are doing great. Came across videos of people, black men, black women, saying that black people should be left alone. And I absolutely concur with them because they deserve peace. They deserve all the grace that every other group of people also get, you know? Black people have worked so hard trying to make sure that everybody is on the same lane. But one thing about life is that no matter how hard you work for people, trust me, some people will still look for a way to tell you that you haven't even done anything for them. And the same people that will tell you that you haven't done anything for them cannot even stand up to do something for themselves. They actually depend on you. Let me give you this analogy. If you keep fetching water from a particular place that is stagnant, right? Fetching water, there is no way the water comes into that place. One day that water is going to finish. And when it finishes, what happens? Some of you will start running away. This is what is going on now. Black people are telling you people to leave them alone. Some people do not deserve that they should be left alone. Some people think it's also time for them to come out and work and do fight for democracy when all of them are all in their houses. How could you be in your houses telling people to come and fight for democracy when you have not even moved? That is how stupid some people are. Now, let me tell you this. If you want to work, get up and go and work. Leave your neighbor alone. Let's get into this video.
I'm just going to be really abundantly clear in this moment. If you did not care about how marginalized folks, how poor folks, how disabled folks, how folks who are too often left out of the conversation or pushed out of the conversation, if you didn't care about them during the election, don't try to form community with them now. Simply don't. Yes, you got to see that a lot of those folks who are trying to get people to vote for their best interests, to vote for harm reduction, because none of these elected officials would be like the savior, and we shouldn't ask them to be either. But a lot of folks were voting for harm reduction. Y'all ignored them. Y'all essentially spat in their faces. And now we have what? Months and months of evidence to show how right those folks were. And so seeing y'all try to form revolutions and connections and all that stuff like that, you can save it, okay? Don't try to form any coalitions with people who you ignored blatantly months before, okay? Until you're actually doing something right, like, I don't know, you get out there and protest. You get out there and raise money. You get out there and contribute to mutual aids. You get out there and make some differences. But before you expect folks to come alongside and join you, the same people that you spat in their faces in November, do some work first.
And don't ask black women for another thing. Do not ask me for another thing. We owe this country nothing. I'm tired. I'm exhausted from showing up and people not even batting an eye in our direction. It is very clear that white supremacy and misogyny is king and still is king. And that's what was proved today. So, on that note, don't ask me for another thing.
Black people don't owe y'all shit. And we need to talk about it. I'm going to try to keep this under 2 minutes. The America that a lot of immigrants love and want to move to is based on a white perspective and white experience. That version of America also would not exist without the exploitation, centuries-long exploitation of black labor. And I'm not just talking about physical labor. I'm talking about all forms of black labor. I'm talking about creative labor. I'm talking about social labor, building communities and institutions and movements. I'm talking about food labor. I'm talking about familial labor. I'm talking about emotional labor, spiritual labor, and right now, political labor. You do not and are not, you're not entitled to black political labor. I'm going to say it again. Nobody is entitled to black political labor at all. And you need to accept that. This is beyond voting. You know, I know some communities and some people didn't vote in their interest, and right now you're dealing with the consequences of that. We got a saying here, you don't believe fat meat is greasy, and now a lot of y'all looking real greased up. You got to deal with those consequences. But on a deeper level, if you want help, and especially from black Americans, the last thing you need to be doing is coming to us from a very entitled, damn near exploitative point of view. We're not doing that anymore. We have had to fight, and we are still fighting this very government that a lot of y'all just realized the shit won't sweet after you moved here. And my heart does go out to a lot of these Americans who are dealing with this administration. But I'm also looking at these people who are on TikTok kind of blaming black Americans for lack of support. And I'm just like, what makes you think we owe you fucking support? We don't owe you shit. Every day we have to get up and live in a country that feels entitled to our labor, to our bodies, to our children. And now we have other Americans trying to pull the same shit, and you wondering why you getting the reaction you getting?
Well, I have your attention. All y'all had to do was vote for that black woman. At the end of the day, all y'all had to do was vote for that black woman. The black woman that had plans, bona fide plans for first-time homeowners, for business owners, for student loan borrowers, for the whole nine. Not concepts of a plan, but actual detailed plans and policy. And y'all fumbled. Leftist and progressive sat on the couch, became one issue progressives and liberals. I'm not even talking about those that are on the right, because we're not talking about them. The fact that we are even here right now is because y'all did not want people that look like me to, one, be in charge, or one, benefit anymore. I have a long laundry list of friends of mine that are either unemployed or underemployed. By the grace of God, I have been able to reset, restructure, and come home where I know that I can afford the cost of living. But I know so many of my friends and people that I know do not have that. And I look around and I see some of these horrible takes about what's going on in the world. Yes, it is sad what is going on in Gaza. It is sad what is going on with ICE and the concentration camps that are being built up around the states and the country altogether. We have a whole Texas legislature that is bending the knee, per the usual, to cheat in an election because they know that what they're doing is wrong. They know what they are doing is out of pocket and unpopular. But we didn't even have to get here. And that is the part that sometimes wakes me up at night and causes me to go take a drink of water and take a couple of deep breaths, because it did not have to be. I grew up watching Columbine happen. Hell, I can go even further to, I'm from Oklahoma. I remember my mom coming to pick me up from daycare after the Murrah building was bombed. September 11th. Dark night shooting. All of these school shootings that happened while I was coming of age. GM and big bank bailouts. And I saw classmates of mine whose parents were losing their homes and their jobs in 2008 and 2009. And me and my age group are finally getting our footing. And this is what we have to work with. All we ask for anybody to do is look at the two candidates and pick the best one. But instead, America chose racism, patriarchy, being white male centered. And here we are. So to that I say, now that we have Gavin Christopher Newsom over in California right now popping off, fighting fire with fire, Is that the packaging that we want moving forward? Because clearly a black woman is not what y'all want. Clearly a black woman with a plan is not what the country and what the people want. Clearly. It's just a random thought of mine that I have had ongoing, and that I've been working it out in therapy, because if I let myself doom scroll, I might not never come out of it. And I'm not one of those people that is going to lie to myself. I worked in the news business for a long time, and I took a lot of stuff with me and unpacked a lot during the time in which I was in those newsrooms. Pitching stories, pitching guests, talking to different people, traveling the world, all of those things. And to see where we are as a society, Madam VP Harris was right. The rest of the world is laughing at us. We are not respected on the world stage. If we recover, it is not because we deserve it, but it is because it is good for business to everybody else. And that's just, I'm going to fall on that hill. So while y'all are doom scrolling and having horrible takes about where black Americans are and what black Americans can do and say and all of this stuff, just know black Americans, the descendants of the enslaved, were stolen people brought to a stolen land to build a multi-billion-dollar entity called the United States. Fight with your mama about it. Show me the data that says that I am wrong, and I will recant my statement. So when you see black women on this app, when you see us in the street, when you see us in the grocery store, when you see us doing whatever and just existing, leave us alone. Leave us alone. You really honestly don't even have to say hi. You don't have to acknowledge our presence. Just leave us alone. Leave us alone. Do not talk to us about your problems. Do not talk to us about, how you can't believe all of this is happening. If you voted for this, or if you sat on the couch, this is on you. This is on you. Sometimes you just gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Black people want to be left alone. They don't want revenge. They don't want to replace us, as some extremist groups have said. They just want to live life in peace, the way they want to live. They want family, they want love, and they want to live in a society where they know they belong here. Yes, they want they want white people to fix white problems of prejudice and ignorance and all the ways that a wrongful sense of superiority is baked into our society. Yes, they want that to change. Yes, they want acknowledgement for harms done. They don't want us to just explain things away or justify or gloss over things without really listening. But more than anything, they want to be themselves, fully express who they are, love who they are, be with their family, and live in peace.
Child, you know the peace you get when you've done all you can? Baby, I'm talking about that deep exhale where you finally say, I've done my part. That's a different kind of peace. It's priceless. There's turmoil everywhere. The world feels real heavy now. And this regime, with Donnie and them, baby, they losing their mind. Folks worried about Medicaid and Medicare, affirmative action rollbacks, groceries high, folks done lost their jobs, and ICE out here on these streets acting like a renegade G.I. Joe. It's a lot. But let me tell you something. There's a peace that surpasses all understanding. And baby, my grandma would say, you ain't gotta understand it to sit in it. And y'all already know, my grandmother knew what she was talking about. 'Cause baby, black women done their part. And we sitting this one out. Full stop. This country is on fire. And black women have done all we can do. We've been saving this place for generations. Carrying it, organizing it, healing it, praying over it. And now it's time for us to just be. See, the kind of peace that we have now, it's the kind that comes from knowing you've done the work. We're not running on overdrive anymore. We're thinking clearly, clairvoyant even. We can strategize because we're not exhausted. We can move with our heads clear and our eyes wide open. You can't buy this kind of peace. Because the way Donnie and them moving, careless, sloppy at best. And the reason we can see it all so clearly, baby, is because our minds are clear. We took a step back, eyes wide open. We woke now, and we're not going back. Now, don't get me wrong. We still have days when we're concerned, moments where we're worried. But overall, we have peace. We have joy. So, no, you can't gaslight us, baby. And as my daddy would say, you can't pee on me and tell me it's raining. Joy and peace is what we have. A peace that surpasses all understanding. They don't understand it because they never understood us. And sadly, it took us a while to get here. The road was long. But baby, we here now. And this joy, this peace is sacred because the world didn't give it. And the world can't take it away. So black folks, keep drinking your water. Stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable. And mind your black business. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you next time.
And as I continue to see videos from people off a fucking Chiquita banana boat asking why they're not in centers and representation, a fucking Jim Crow era in Mississippi, I realize that we literally cannot have shit. You all demand so much from the group of people who have the least amount of power and respect from the fucking globe. You guys are never asking why y'all wasn't on Titanic. Yeah. You're never asking why you're not in Snow White. Y'all only fucking do that to us while simultaneously saying we don't have culture. You want us to include everybody in our shit while we are consistently excluded from any and all fucking things, like having goddamn rights. Yeah, we're fucking tired. Make your own fucking movie. Y'all got movies, right? You don't see us worried about being in your shit because it ain't our fucking story to tell. Did you want to be in 12 Years a Slave? Hey, what was your representation of that? Leave black people the fuck alone. I'm not going to say it again. Leave black people the fuck alone and keep our goddamn names out your mouth.
It's going to trigger them, but who cares? They use the microaggressions to shake us out of that because it's powerful. They wouldn't shake us out of it if it didn't do them some harm. Can you imagine the kind of life you're living where you're so miserable that you consider somebody else's happiness as a weapon? Like I'm doing something to you. You're so used to being centered. This is why I say white women are the ninjas of this. This is their special secret energetic weapon. They've been honing it for years. And I think you only use it because you're miserable or you're afraid of being taken out of the stop spot. You love being centered. You think that you're someone or something special. You've been taught that your entire life, that no matter what, you'll always be better than the black girl or the brown girl. And when something happens to make them question that, it's wildly problematic. It's subtle, it's insidious, and it's meant to hurt us. We're going to set energetic boundaries. No one deserves access to your spirit. They also don't deserve access to your time, your ideas, or your presence without paying you. And that's something we're going to work on over the next 4 years as Black women, 90%. But those things are sacred. Your spirit is sacred. And instead of changing ourselves, shrinking ourselves, code switching, making ourselves smaller, we're going to stay grounded in our joy and we're going to set our own energetic boundaries. And we do that in different ways. So I'm Halleck and you just rode the storm with me. To the beautiful, the bold, the brilliant Black women in 90%. All the love in my heart. I'm going to see you next week. And to everyone else, have the day that you voted for.
Send this to a Black man who needs to hear this. Okay. I want us to normalize everything being okay. Like, I want us to normalize there being no fires to put out. I want us to normalize everything is coming to us. life is on our side, everything is going well, things are in our favor, what is left is gone, we don't need to unturn anything, we don't need to figure out anything, we don't need to overly obsess over anything. I want us to normalize a state of everything is what it should be. Because most of us grew up in households where chaos was normalized, especially when you're living in households that have a financial insecurity, oftentimes leads to emotional insecurity and insecurity in other areas. And it's really unhealthy. So can we practice understanding and knowing that everything is as it should be today and allow ourselves to experience peace today? Can we allow ourselves to have a deep breath today? Can we allow ourselves to be in balance and be in harmony in our relationship with each other today? And that is just like a little question that I wanted to poke, because we deserve to feel like everything is gonna be okay. Black man, I love you. I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
You get when you've done all you can. Baby, I'm talking about that deep exhale where you finally say, I've done my part. That's a different kind of peace. It's priceless. There's turmoil everywhere. The world feels real heavy now.
From this video, and a very big shout out to Black women, a lot has really been going on, and I love how strong you all have been standing so far, because it's actually takes a lot to be strong these days, because life has really been lifing. You know, everybody wants you to give them all you have. Everybody wants to fetch water from your pocket. Everybody wants to take from you, but nobody is giving back. Nobody is depositing back. It's just like me going to my bank. Like, you know, probably the last time I put money in my account was 2 years ago, right? But since 2 years ago, I haven't been working. There is no income coming in. But I have been withdrawing the money in my account, right? And I went there yesterday, but I couldn't withdraw. What happened? What may have happened? But I am supposed to, like, you know, get money each time I go there. No, you were not supposed to get money each time you go there. You were getting money because there was money in there. But when the money finishes, you won't be able to get another money, except somebody dashes you or something. But this time around, this has nothing to do with dashing. This has nothing to do with withdrawing anymore, right? Because you don't have anything anymore to withdraw. So they have been withdrawing, and they think they will go out and come back again and they will have something to withdraw. It doesn't work that way. People over time grow, people change, life goes on. When you do not value people, just like when you have friends, you know, I am sure majority of them, even if you don't have, there might be someone very close to you. If you have friends and you are not kind to them, you are not nice to them, at some point they might be like, okay, let's tolerate her and see how it goes. But as time goes on, you are not changing, you know? You see them, they start disappearing one after the other. That's how it is. Black people have given you people so much, and you all do not give out anything, you know? Some of you, it is when you need something that you come back. When that problem is solved, you disappears. Who does that? Not anymore. Black people have not just been fighting for themselves. They've been fighting for literally everybody, fighting for their life, and at the same time fighting for other people. No matter how strong you are, someday you definitely will break down. Sometimes you think you are that strong, you know, not until you find out, no, I am no longer as strong as I used to be. That's how life is. They want to be left alone, and there is nothing wrong with that. They want to be on their own, and there is nothing wrong with that. They want peace because they never know what it means to rest. Black people never rested. They never take a break. They are always working, you know? And you all are not seeing the fact that they've been stressed out, they've been strung out. You all see the problems on their table and ignore their problems, but want yours to be solved. That is how selfish some people could be. It's just like having friends, right? You are in the same house. You are charging your phone. Your friend comes in, or maybe one of your siblings. Excuse me. Your battery is probably on 10. You are trying to charge it up, right? And somebody with 50 or 60% battery removes your own to put his. This is what they've been doing to black people. They think black people did not know. They knew. They just thought maybe at some point you guys would change, but there ain't anything like changing. You all have been like this, and I am sure that like some people say, it is not in your culture to speak up. But for white people, for Asian, for Latinos, it is time for you all to go and work. Go do the job. Majority of you that have been screaming, how can you not fight your oppressor? And I am still seeing them in their houses. But they want to lure people outside their houses so that they can get hurt. You guys are playing too much on this app. And the truth is that you all thought that you are smart. You guys aren't smart. Black people need all this you are doing. So yeah, bye for now.